Okay, Frederick, thanks for being here. In this interview, I have some questions related to HAMMERFALL's career and others related to their most recent album, Hammer of Dawn. Yes?
Yes.
And the first question that I have is, how was the writing and recording process of Hammer of Dawn, and how long did it last?
Well, it was a bit of a different approach. Since a couple of years ago, before this, Oscar always set aside a period of time to write the full album. Of course, he has ideas from before, but he sets up a period of time where he sits down and has to write the whole album, basically. But it can be kind of stressful. So since a couple of years back, he started to bring his recording devices and a guitar so he can record whenever he's in the mood. And it could be on vacation or actually on the road. We can get off stage and be all sweaty and pumped with adrenaline, and the rest of the guys grabs a beer and he picks up his guitar and sits down and records some riffs, because he has that vibe, that feeling from the show that is, he wants to be creative all the time and gets the songs out from his system. So I guess that shows on the records as well, because it feels like it has a lot of energy in it.
Perfect. And how was working together with King Diamond on the song Venerate Me?
It's just a small part. I mean, I love having King Diamond on the record. I'm a big fan since childhood, basically. I listened countless of times to his albums. But when Oscar wrote that song, and I think especially when Joachim delivered the vocals, they felt that it was a kind of a different feel to that song, kind of spooky and almost King Diamond-esque, if you know what I mean. So they talked about it, and Oscar is a big fan of King Diamond. So he said, wouldn't it be cool to have King himself, the one and only, sing something on this one? And Pontus Norgren, our guitar player, he's a great sound guy, a front of house guy, and he does the sound for King Diamond. He said, I'll give him a call and just ask if he wants to do it. And so it worked out. We sent some files back and forth, and he came up with this. It's just a small part, but you can instantly recognize it's King Diamond because of his way of singing. It's a big thing for us, but it's not something we will sell a lot of records for, because it's just a small appearance, not a featuring King Diamond thing.
Perfect. And what are the lyrics on this album about?
It's so many different topics on all the songs. It's not a main theme or anything. I usually don't talk about lyrics, and if you ask Joachim, who writes all the lyrics, I'm pretty sure he's gonna tell you that you can read the lyrics and see what it's about, but you have to read between the lines to see the full spectrum, and you have to read them and make your own personal conclusion of what the song's about. So I'll leave it at that.
Okay, perfect. Did the pandemic affect the production of this album in any way?
Yes, of course. We can say that Oscar had a lot of songs. He writes most of the songs, most of the material. He had a couple of songs ready even before Dominion was released. And then we came back from a really successful European tour back in late February 2020, just before the pandemic started. And I guess he had most of the material ready by then. So we were pretty lucky to actually achieve to be able to have a full European tour at least. And also we recorded a full show and released it on DVD, our live album. So we were really fortunate in that way. When every other bands were live streaming small shows without an audience at all, we could present HAMMERFALL on a full show with pyro and a big audience and stuff. And that was already planned, so we didn't get affected that much. And also we already planned for the recording of the new album, and we started like a year ago, so it's been around for ourselves for some time now.
Perfect. And talking about the shows also, did you have any bad experience in a concert or tour?
Most of the shows are really good. I mean, of course, shit happens. Something gets wrong, or sound doesn't work, but I try not to think about the bad things. Right now, I mean, we've been home for 2 years, and I can't wait to get out and play again. So I don't think about the bad things.
Okay. And what do you think about the current power metal scene? Do you listen bands like Hammer King or Powerwolf, for example?
I can't say that I listen that much to heavy metal or power metal at all right now. There's a lot of, I mean, we've been working with a new record for a long time, and I listen a lot to other music genres and so on. But when we get out on the road, I try to catch up and listen to a couple of new albums. So it's not just the backworks of the bands. So I try to keep up to date, but I'm kind of bad at keeping up.
Okay. Of all the albums of the band, in which you have obviously participated, which is your favorite HAMMERFALL album?
Of course, it's easy to say the new one, but it's too fresh. I can't really compare the new album to the old ones yet, because you have to maybe give it a year or two before I can evaluate how it compares to the other ones. But if I have to choose just one album, I would probably pick the first one, Glory to the Brave. That meant a lot for me personally, and was the first, not the first record I released, but it was the first with HAMMERFALL, and a really important one for me. We released that one in a time when nobody believed in heavy metal, so it was kind of cool for us to be able to do that. So I'll pick Glory to the Brave.
Perfect. And about the videos releases from the album, how were and in how long made were the videos for the songs Hammer of Dawn and Brotherhood?
Well, we worked with Patrick Uleus, who has done a couple of videos for us now, and he's such a great guy. Usually it's really boring to record a video, because it's a lot of waiting. You have to do the same thing over and over again, and it's loud music to get in the mood, and yeah, it's really frustrating sometimes. But Patrick is such a great guy, and he makes you feel comfortable. He can tell you what looks good and not. So it's really nice to work with him. The Hammer of Dawn video was recorded at an amusement park here in Gothenburg. We had that idea for a long time, but finally it was time to make something out of it. And this was during the Halloween theme of the park. So we were thinking to do a lot of shooting outside of the park, but unfortunately it was raining. It was really bad weather that night, or those nights. So we had to step indoors and make a video. But it's such a cool place to be in. So we were actually standing with our feet in water for hours during that video. But it was fun anyway. We had a great time. And Brotherhood video, it was with Patrick as well. And that we had a different idea for that. We tried to do something like a HAMMERFALL rehearsal room or something. We took all the old backdrops and stage props and filled it to make it look cozy and like we were rehearsing for an upcoming tour or something. And we also, since the Brotherhood is about our brothers and sisters and family, we also brought our families together in the video. We had our sons and daughters appearing in the end of the video. They were really nervous about it, but I think it turned out great.
Yeah, it was great. Both videos are great videos. Okay, what did it like to work with Napalm Records, and what difference do you find between them and other labels like Nuclear Blast, for example?
It's not that much different, I would say. I mean, I don't get that much in contact with them. I try to, we focus on releasing recording albums and do stuff. So it's just like the business part of it. I really like Napalm. They're doing a great job. So, but I mean, Nuclear Blast did a great job for us too. So it's just, for me, it's just labels.
What are your future plans after this release? Are you excited to come to Latin America with Halloween?
Absolutely. I mean, unfortunately, we are going out on a European tour first with Halloween. Unfortunately, that has been kind of postponed. We had to, the countries aren't opening up from the COVID thing as we expected, so we had to cut that into pieces and spread it out over a year. But I'm so looking forward to get out on tour, especially with Halloween, childhood heroes for me. So it will be so much fun coming out and get to know them better and see them live night after night. So it will be a great year. And coming back to Latin America, so much fun. It will be awesome.
Perfect. And the last question is, what advice will you give to a band that is just starting out on the industry?
Yeah, I think it's important to follow your beliefs. You have to believe in what you do. Don't listen too much to other people and don't follow trends. I mean, you can might be successful if you follow trends for a bit, but it's gonna peak and go away. So, I mean, for us, HAMMERFALL, we've been doing this for 25, 30 years now. So we always stuck with this HAMMERFALL music, the heavy metal. That's what we believed in, and we do it by heart. So I think it's important, and I think people notice if you're doing it for the wrong reason.
Perfect, Fredrik. These were all the questions that I have for you today. Thank you very much for your time, and I hope you had a good time with us.
Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Would you like to say something to the people of Latin America who will be watching this interview later?
Yeah, I mean, I can't wait to see you. I'm really eager to get out on tour, and it will be so much fun to have. We're going to have a party together. Hope to see you soon.
Thank you very much, Fredrik. I wish you all the best and a lot of success in what is to come.
Thank you very much.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.